So I'm really excited to show you how my transition went. I'm sure I ran out of the water. As I was running out of the water, I'm sure I probably took off my cap and goggles. I was in my swimsuit, so I had to put some clothes on, some shoes on, and all that kind of stuff. And it looked way different back then than it did now, and I'm excited to show you what's next. The only advice I had about transitioning was from my mom. So I did what she did back in the day. I sat down on a bucket as soon as I got in transition. I had a bucket full of water because we had sandy beaches to run on. I dipped my feet in water to clean off my feet, dried them with a towel, and then I slipped my socks on because I used to wear socks, and then I had to get my running shoes on. Back then we didn't have fancy lace locks like we do now, so I would just sit down. Sitting down actually made things quite easy. Put my shoes on, had to tie them. It's a lot easier doing than standing up. And then I probably took my cap and goggles off. I had cotton t-shirt and cotton shorts. I look at pictures, I had a big baggy Lollapalooza t-shirt on. I had cotton spandex, which I don't own cotton spandex now, so I'm just demonstrating with a pair of cotton shorts. I did not have a cycling pad on my shorts. I had sunglasses that I got from the dollar store. So this is as close as I have now to dollar store sunglasses. Actually, mine actually had some points on them, so they're not too far off. And then I had my mother's helmet, which was way too big for me. So I put my helmet on. I did remember to fasten it. And then I grabbed my mountain bike and I ran off to mount. Get to the mountain line, mount my bike, and off I go. And then I'm back in T2. I rack my bike exactly where I had it racked in T1. I take my helmet off. My glasses are already on. One thing, I actually did have the bib number pinned onto me, so I didn't even have a race belt. I had my bib number pinned onto my Lollapalooza t-shirt, racked my bike, and then I went out for a run. And then I finished. So one thing about transition back then was the ease of cycling and running in my running shoes. I didn't have to change shoes, and it was actually very quick. The first one was obviously slow because I dried my feet off, I sat down and all that. But T2 was actually very quick. And now, with the advent of cycling shoes, clip-in pedals, different clothing, just everything's really different. I'm going to show you that next. And now I have a nice fan that I train with. I have fancy glasses that come in clear as well as tinted. I have a variety of goggles that I like to use depending on the direction of the sun. I carry a pair of clear goggles and a pair of tinted goggles, just like my glasses. I have a variety of wetsuits that I wear now. I mostly wear a sleeveless wetsuit with long legs depending on the water temperature. And we have a nice gear bag that helps us carry all this gear into our transition. So when I arrive in T1, which is usually T2, sometimes the first transition and the second transition could be at different locations, I will rack my bike. I will rack it on the saddle so it's easy to pull out and go. But for demonstrations purposes, I don't have an actual rack. But what I am going to demonstrate is how I set up my transition. So no more buckets. I have an actual transition towel that I'll set up underneath my bike or very close by it. I will set up my biking shoes on my towel and my bib number. I don't wear my bib number on my t-shirt anymore like I did when I started. I'll actually put a bib number on a racing belt, and I will set that on my towel. I wear either a hat or a visor now. I'll put that by my bib number, and I will get out my shoes. What they make now is special laces, elastic laces for easier to slip in and out of your shoes, so you don't have to spend time tying your shoes. So I like to set that up and put my racing number and my cap over my shoes. And then, like I said, I already have multiple pairs of goggles. So let's briefly talk about the wetsuits. There's different kinds of wetsuits. I've done a wetsuit video, but just to show you the various wetsuits that they have. They have a core short, so if the water temperature is within the legal range below 76.1, but it's a little bit too warm for a full body wetsuit, they have now what's called a core short. They call it different brands depending on the company. So I don't always carry all these wetsuits with me, but I have them, and I know ahead of time what the water temperature is going to be to determine what wetsuit I'm going to choose to wear. And then I also have an actual special swim run wetsuit that sometimes I wear in triathlon that has short legs and short sleeves. And then I have the long sleeve wetsuit with long arms and long legs. This is something I rarely wear, but I just wanted to mention all the different wetsuit styles that I've collected over the years.